selling the dream too much, they will feel afraid if they can do it or not, if they can achieve it or not. But rather, if you sell the pains, the problem more, that they know if they can do it or not. Make sense? Why? Because the dream is something that is not happening yet, right? So number one fear in human life is going to the unknown. Like if I do this business, will my business growing well in the next 2 to 3 months? I don't know. Nobody knows, right? But if you talking about something that's not working right now, that is already no, right? The pain is now. So only you can see is by getting to the right now, to the time that is now, that what they feel about it now, right? I can also see the pains that is not happening yet, right? So for example, if you have a business that the sales is not going well, and then you can ask the question, right? What will happen if it just keep going on like that? That is one of the way to amplify pain, right? But it's not happening yet. So the way that they will see is that, wow, that's not good, but it's not happening yet. The only feeling that will come up is just worriness, right? But if you sell the dream too good, it's like, what happened if you can achieve 100,000? Well, that will be good for me because I can go travel, I can reinvest back in my business, blah, blah, blah. But it's not happening yet. So they don't know if they can do it or not, right? But if the pain is so strong, they will not think if I can do it or not. I just need to solve this problem, man. Just give me how to do it, like how to solve this problem, right? If you can pinch that pain so strong, that emotionally so strong, they will just take action. They'll just not will be asking a lot of questions like, can I do this? Like, is this the right thing for me? Logically, they will still justify it. But again, if the pain is so strong, if the emotionally they need it now urgently, that they will do whatever it takes to do it. Okay? So the current situation is always more powerful than the dream. All right. The next step is what I love. It's called reverse psychology. Reverse psychology. A lot of people actually confused, like, why do we have to reverse psychology? You guys know what is reverse psychology? Type 1 in the chat if you know. And it's like pretty common term, right? In sales and marketing, if you know what is reverse psychology. If you know, type 1 in the chat. If you don't know, type 2 in the chat. If you don't know, type 2 in the chat. I'll explain a bit more if you don't know. All right, Sabet said 2. Kay said 2. Joel said 2. MG said 1. Okay. Joel said 2. All right. So reverse psychology is something that is powerful, but you have to be careful to use it, right? Because you are reversing the psychology. So what does that mean? It is like when you are talking to someone and people actually want to stay where they are at any stake, right? They want to be comfortable where they're at. So most of the time, if you're telling them to do something, they will not like it because it's going to move them from where they're at, right? The function of reverse psychology is to let them know that actually you can stay where you are at, and that's what will happen. And they will defending you and go to the other direction. Okay, so that's the purpose of reverse psychology. How to use it? For example, right? If someone says that, yeah, you know what, Andreas, I have this problem. You know, like my health is not going well recently, and you know, I just feel like I'm getting fatter and fatter right now, right? With my body condition, you know. And then reverse psychology question that I can ask is that, oh, okay, and how long have you been feeling this way? Oh, yeah, I've been feeling like 2 to 3 months, right? Instead of telling them like, hey, 2 to 3 months is quite urgent already. You need to move something, or you need to do something, right? Instead of telling like that, I can say, oh, 2 to 3 months. Oh, it's okay, right? It's still good. It's still manageable, right? Maybe it's a glitch, 2 to 3 months. Maybe you did something wrong, but you can get back to your routines after 4 months, doesn't it? And they feel like, no, I cannot just stay like this. I need to seek a solution, right? You go to the other route and they'll defend you why they need the solution, right? It works good with pains, right? If you're pinching their pains, right? And they're saying like, well, yeah, I'm kind of trying to solve this closing problem, but I just cannot close people. And you go reverse psychology. Well, it's not that bad, isn't it? You cannot close one or two, but you still can always try yourself and maybe do it yourself. And they'll be like, yeah, you don't understand. We can do that, but and then normally they'll start to say but. They start to defending their pain, to stay where they're at in their pain, and say, but if you just keep doing like that, I don't know how much time that it will take me to kind of figure out the solution, right? That's reverse psychology, right? So instead of just be salesy and asking them, hey, you need to solve this problem. Don't do that. Let them justify it. Let them defend it themselves, right? That's where you can go, reverse psychology. And need to be careful, because if you ask the wrong question, normally they will say like, they go to the other direction, right? Okay, I'll not go too deep on this, but this is one step that you need to understand. Reverse psychology. If you want, then maybe we can have another session or class that talk about this even deeper, because it will take some time with the psychology behind it. All right, what is the next step? The next step is something that is very critical, very powerful, which is ask for the close, right? Ask for the close. A lot of people are doing this wrongly, because most people, they just like, hey, okay, so sign up now, right? Let's sign up now. Let's do it now, right? Let's enroll to the program now, right? When you're asking for the close like that, what happened? Again, most people don't like to be told what to do, right? If you dig the pain correctly and the dream correctly, it comes to the conclusion itself that they need it, that they want it, right? The way that you do it is just asking like, all right, so where do you want to go from here? And they will say, all right, let's do it, right? If you ask the good close, if you do the pain correctly, if you do the agenda correctly, if you handle the objection correctly, if you prevent it correctly, if you have the dream correctly, at the end, it will just a normal conversation to just move forward. It's just a very natural conversation to move forward. But if you do it wrongly, then we always have to ask for the close, right? Are you ready to move forward? Are you ready to sign the deal, right? There's nothing wrong about it. It's just how deep their pain is. Like if their pain is not that deep, you still need to ask for the close, right? You still need to ask like, are you ready to move forward? And they'll say no or yes, and you can handle it from there. But again, normally it will come up more objection after that. But if it's naturally come from their thoughts that, yeah, I need this, I want it, then you just ask the question, so where should we go from here? All right, let's do it, right? So ask for the close. But a lot of people even don't dare to ask for the close. They just keep going on with the report building, and then just like, all right, let's set up another time to talk more in details about the program, right? And they just go away from the call. And there is no close happening because we didn't ask for it, right? So be brave. You need to ask for the close. And the last stage, this is the most important, the follow-up, right? A lot of closes that if it's not happening in one time, for whatever reason, right? We need to know how to do the follow-up. And here's the thing. I want to ask you a question, guys. If you have like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or even your husband or wife, right? And maybe when you were dating back then, right? And then maybe your husband or your wife, and it was like, hey, you know what? It's very interesting dating tonight, right? It's very good. You know what? I'll call you again, right? And we'll set up another time for the next dating, right? The next date, right? And what happened is, after you fetch them back home, right? After you get back home, and then actually the person never call you. 2 to 3 days, it goes past by, right? And your soulmate never call you, right? And what do you feel? It's like, oh, what really happening, right? It's sad, right? Then what do you start to do? We start to go to their house, right? See like what is she or he is doing there, right? Is he okay, right? We start to stalking them, right? That's not normally what people do. When the other person say, "I'll get back to you," and they never get back to you again, what do you start doing? You start to change another number, right? Have you ever had that experience? You change another number, start to call them, right? And see if they pick up the phone, right? Pretending to be someone else and going to their house, right? See if they're still good. That's how we do with the follow-up, right? It's only happening if you cannot get to the truth, right? If you know how to challenge them, if you know how to ask the good question, right? Then it shouldn't be happening. Except there's something that really urgent happening. I have a friend that actually today she shared with me that she's just being ghosted, she's just being ignored by the prospect. But after 2 weeks, the prospect come back to her and say that, hey, sorry, I just have a COVID, so I didn't able to message you and I didn't move forward, but I just paid the invoice just now. Right? That's legit reason. But still, right? It is like a follow-up system that you need to know. That is not only going chase after them because you want the money, but how that can you providing value so they trust you. Even when you call them, they already save your number. When you call them, they just pick up. That's the real trust building, right? That's the real great connection that you build getting to the truth. If they want it, if they don't want it, if we disqualify them, if we're moving forward or not, it has to be clear before even get off the meeting. Joel said, I don't get any feedback after answering their queries. Yeah, because why? 2 reasons, right? You haven't get to the truth or you haven't pinched their emotion on the call. And I can guarantee you, everything that you do on the call, the prospect will forget it. Even you, if we get to the meeting, sales meeting with other sales guys, right? Most of the time we'll forget it. We don't even remember their name, right? The salesperson name, right? That's normal. But what they will remember is what they commit for and what their emotion that happens. Are they sad? Are they happy? Are they proud? Are they disappointed? All that emotion, it's hard to forget. Why? It's human nature. If you've seen a trauma, right? Like you saw on the road, you saw a cat that accidentally like fell down and just get hit by bus. And then you have that feeling emotion, it becomes like a minor trauma, right? It's just like why some people cannot sleep after seeing that thing, like very scary things. It's because the emotion is so there. And that's the same thing. If you can pitch that emotion on the meeting, they'll remember it. They remember the emotion. Now, what kind of emotion that you want them to remember? That is the decision, right? Because some people, they have a good laughter. You know, on the meeting, they're just like chit chatty. They make jokes and then they like partying in the meeting, right? That's totally fine, right? Is that the emotion that you want them to remember? After that, then there'll be no pains. There'll be no urgency for them to take action, and that's why they're ghosting at the end of the day, right? But if you have that emotion, that feeling that they feel pain, they feel unease, right? They feel this courage, like they want to change their life because they feel pain, they will take action. They will expecting your call actually, because you are the one that having the solution, right? So when you follow up, next time don't follow up just like, hey, I'm following up with you. I want to touch base with you, right? Forget all of those. Because it's for your sake, right? It's for your purpose and it's not them. Let's switch that. You need to follow up for their purpose, but not yours. So don't, if you're following up on text, don't type, I'm following up with you. I'm touch base with you. No, don't say that. Nobody likes it because it's very selfish reason. If you're following up with people, use value-based, right? Hey, I want to send this to you. Hey, I want to give you this. Hey, I want to let you know about this, right? Last time you mentioned to me about this problem, hey, this may be one of the things that can help you. Meanwhile, you are having XYZ reason, right? So, with that being said, these 7 steps is actually the first steps, the first structure for you to have a good close, right? I cannot go very deep on each of it, but if you just keep practicing these 7 steps, if you just knowing how to role play, how to do the good calls with the 7 step, that you will make your call very different. You will make more closes. That's what my promise is. But you need to practice. You need to put it to action. You need to implement this. And you need to believe in yourself with a mindset that you can do it. All right? All right, guys. I'll share with you this notes, this PDF on the Telegram chat. Let me know any question. And I'll see you very soon. All right? Bye, guys.
Hello. See. Today, Andy, your student learning about closing sales.